Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, seekers and sojourners of truth, the 144, chosen of the chosen few. You know who you are. Makila Textury in the divine energy essence of it all, reporting to you live from. You got it, 5D. Do I need to say it again? 5D, the 5th D consciousness. For those who are awakening, welcome. For those who are here, we here. And right before going on, as I say this, I saw the numbers 808. Right before going on, boom, 808. And then I hear the song in my head, boom, like an 808. For those of you who remember the group, Black, I think was the name of the group. They had a song called Boom Like an 808. Lisa Left Eye Lopez was the one that was spearheading that group, I believe. But anyway, yes, 808, significant numbers. For one, is something that has been echoing in my dreams, a meaning, bringing a meaning of something to my dream, something out of my dreams. And I've also heard something about sound, speaking of the 5th element, because I'm going to be talking about this 5th element in the 5D and so forth. Sound waves through the airwaves, and sound 808 is a sound that someone was talking about as well. There's a sound that they use to send out frequencies to change people's, let's say, motives or intent. It's been used as a weapon as well, is something that I found online. So that was something that came across me yesterday, and then just 808 has been a reoccurring theme. So the meaning, for those of you who know I'm into numbers, so 808, there's 0 in the middle between the 8, so that's neutrality within infinite existence. So whatever that means for you, for me it just means that there's that neutrality in the middle, and we have the infinite existence on both ends. And something as it pertains to my dream was showing that something was coming from one end, like the both ends. There's something that is coming from both ends into neutrality. So being in neutrality, staying in neutrality, seems to be drawing something from the infinite ends, because that point 0 is the middle of it all. It's where, as I always say, where duality, at the center of duality, where duality exists at the center of let's say at the center of both duality, there is infinite existence. In the infinite existence of that, there is love. It's like a symbolism for what love is, because love is the harmony of the two. So when you bring both together, when you are at the 0 point of neutrality, you bring together that harmony. And that harmony from both ends, that duality at the center of infinite existence, is love. There we go. That's what I was looking for. The words were coming all jumbled and whatnot, but that's what it is. So speaking of love, that means that in order for us to be in this higher space, we need love. We need a unification of love. And this is why I'm always saying, drop back in the heart. Drop back in the heart. Get to Anahata in your higher heart chakra, so that you can be a part of this expression, of this 5D expression, of this 5th element existence. And as we're talking about it, specifically the throat chakra, while we're in this throat chakra season. So that brings me to my title. And what I want to talk about is this Taurus season in the middle of throat chakra season, right in the midst of throat chakra season. And I'm not gonna lie, this was brought to my attention a little bit more. I already knew we were in throat chakra season. You guys have been hearing me talk about it, and this is why I'm wearing my blue today, because actually today is a root chakra day for me, getting ready for the full moon, starting at the root. This is the first of the 7 days, so I'm really on my root chakra. So happy root chakra day to all of you. However, I'm donning my blue because I'm really emphasizing the throat chakra and speaking about the throat chakra right now, as this entire throat chakra season. And for those who don't know the seasons, I may have to do a different video that specifically break down these chakra seasons, because you're not going to find it in any book. If you Google it, you're not going to find it. It's the book of life within. It's the downloads that I've been getting. As I said, we all can tap in and you will get your downloads, but you got to do your soul work. And the more you do your soul work, you open these these keys. You got the keys. You are the key, and you open this door and that door, and you just gain more insight. You tap into the Akashic records within your soul, and all of the information is there to behold, right? So with that said, I would have to do something separate on explaining these chakra seasons, but not but and to get right to the point, we will say this chakra season, every season has about 3 months, just like a regular season. So this season has started in spring. Yep, spring. So we started with Aries, Taurus, Gemini. We started around the spring equinox, which begins the Aries season. So then we enter into spring. So according to the astrological calendar, or as I like to call it, the cosmic calendar, the beginning of the year is always Aries. Aries is the beginning. So we are actually like in our second month, Aries, Taurus, going into Gemini. We're about to be in our third month. So with that said, probably today or tomorrow, we're entering into our third month. So with that said, Taurus is in the middle of these 3 months. So Taurus season is in the middle of all of that. And as I said, it was brought to my attention. What is his name? I just started watching this, and I really want to make sure I mention his name because it comes from him. And I invite you guys to look up some of the things he's talking about in astrology. His name is Jamal, I think it's Robinson. Jamal, yeah, because he said I'm a Robinson. I remember the last name. But really been finding some good information. And there's something that he said that brought it to my attention about the Taurus season. And reminding us of the placements of the body, because all of the signs or the houses have a body placement. You know, Aries is, you know, the head, the crown, and then you kind of go from the head down to the feet. That's why the feet is represented by Pisces, right? So then the throat would be Taurus, and then, you know, going down and so on. Gemini is, you know, more likely up in this area, and it just continues going down till you get to the feet. So with that said, the throat reminding me of that was like, that's right. And it was like, as soon as he said it, it hit. We're in the middle of throat chakra season, and a lot has been going on in regards to our throat chakra and expressing ourselves. And I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into that, and speaking about, as the throat chakra being the atmospheric body, it is the 5th chakra from the bottom going up. And it is considered the atmospheric body, right? Meaning, according to the chakras, the root is the physical body, the sacral is the energy, is the emotional body, the solar plexus is the identity body, the heart is the energy body, the energetic body, the throat is the atmospheric body, the third eye is the transcendent body, and the crown is the cosmic body. So as the atmospheric body, think about it. We are here to express. We are in the expression aspect. Think about that number 5 again. And I'm going to read the little mini download I got from it as well. But 5 being that 5th dimensional aspect. And that is about expression. So again, the expression, everything in the atmosphere. When you express, it's in the atmosphere. Look at the throat chakra. It is the next level up after the heart. So it is where the energy body is now moving. The energy in the wind is now moving. And now we have the atmosphere. And everything is in the atmosphere. And this is what 5D is about. This is what a lot of people are not getting. Everything. This is why I said nothing is hitting. There's no more hiding. The veils are so thin because we are hit. When you enter into 5D, it's atmospheric. That means everything is out there. Everything is in the our energetic field. We are expressing with each other through our energetic field, whether we know it or not, whether we like it or not. This is how we're communicating. That's why a lot of us are seeing things or are hearing things more. Our senses, our clairs are turning up because everything is in the field, right? And the field, the information field, or our auric field, is our feelings, right? You have to, who feels it knows it. So through our feelings, through our sensories, I'm not just talking, oh, I hurt my feelings type feelings. I'm talking about all sensory, all sensations. Feelings are sensations. how we feel sensations, whether it's sight, hearing, taste, touch, those five senses to the sixth degree, let's call it sixth sense. Put all those five senses together to your sixth sense, because you're sensing them through the sixth sense, whether through taste, through sound, any of these. It is through the sixth sense, and it is in the atmospheric body because it's in the information field and we're exchanging it. So it's when that energy gets elevated to the atmospheric body, it is the fifth element as that, and it is the sometimes how they say the fifth element is spirit. That's spirit, because these are the spiritual chakras, right? So they'll look at the way the world look at things. You'll hear them say the four elements of the world: earth, fire, wind, water, which are the lower chakras, right? The elements, use that helicopter, the elements of the lower chakras: earth, fire, wind, water, and then you get to here and it's all spirit. So they just consider fifth element, you know, all of the spirit, because it's spirit, spirit, spirit. The top three chakras are your spiritual, your higher chakras, your spiritual. So yes, when you get to the fifth element, it's spirit. It is the entry level to spirit at the throat chakra, right? To when we're entering into our higher realms of ourself, our spiritual self, right? Tap in, tap in, tap in. So as I say all that, let me dial it back a little bit. Let me just dial it back, because this was exciting. As I was listening to him, it's like, man, spirit speaks through people. And I'm like, that's right. You know, things that I knew and I've been wanting to talk about. It really gave me the green light to really talk about this throat chakra season and what's happening in this throat chakra season, because we've been seeing a lot happening. I've been speaking on some of the, in regards to like the great conjunction in Taurus and what was happening in our emotional bodies, because things are moving through our emotions as well, to see how we're processing all of this. But how we're expressing things are equally important. And as Taurus season, as Taurus represents the throat, it really is highlighting what we should be expressing and how we are expressing ourselves during this time. And it makes a lot more sense. It pieces it all together, how some of us have been feeling the challenges in our emotional body. Yes, have been shaken up, relationships and things like that. But guess why too? Because it's challenging us to express in the way that we need to express. And let me clarify this, because it doesn't always mean speaking up, because sometimes we think that, right? It may mean something else. And before I give that, I want you guys to watch his video as he explains it. I don't want to talk his whole video, but there's something important that I find in that he speaks about, like his daughter being in a play, and the play is about the cow, you know, this cow that's lost its voice, and at the end finds its voice to say moo and so forth. And long story short, he ended up seeing this as what you would say a ritual. And this, I want to do a topic on ritual a whole nother time. It's besides the point. But like a Taurus ritual, as he says, an unexpected ritual. And I appreciate his sharing that. But it highlights how a lot of us, what I got from that is how a lot of us lose our voice. A lot of us have lost our voice. And as he said in the play, the other animals circled around the horse, right? And that highlights something in itself. I feel like there's like 3 topics I got to talk about in regards to this, but that highlights something in itself, which is like, as he says too, the zodiac wheel, right? And with that one animal in the middle, that the zodiac wheel represents zoology, or zoo, the animals. That's why you have animals on the zodiac. And so anyway, they're animals circling around this one animal. And where are we in this season? We were in Taurus season at the time that he's speaking of this. And so when you look at it, every season that we go in, we're highlighting that specific animal, and the rest of the animals are aspects that connect to that, right? That's a whole nother topic in itself. I just wanted to kind of pin that there, that we will have to go into. But as he speaks on that, I'm getting how a lot of us have lost our voice. Just listen to that part. Lost their voice, could not speak for whatever reason, and it wasn't until the, you know, later on in the end it's got its voice to say something. So it tells me that a lot of us, and I've been seeing this, a lot of us in our throat chakras have been getting, you know, the attack. A lot of us have either been getting the attack or feeling locked up and blocked, right? And needing to look at, we needed to be surrounded. Another way that I saw this is not just a zodiac, but we need the support of our family. We need the support of our circle, whatever your circle is, soul family, family, friend family. We need the support so that we can speak. Because what's happening too is a lot of people don't speak or can't speak. And let me say speak, not expressing themselves through their authenticity. A lot of us light bodies too, we don't express because we can't be authentic, because other people are not being authentic. So if we can't be our authentic selves, we tend to just, you know, mum's the word. So either way, there's this block in the expression, and what highlights to me is that what would help open up that expression is for us having that support, people having their circles support them. And this is why I suggest us finding our soul tribes. Your soul circle will be the best circle, because we can't really expect others. They're not there yet. They're like, 5D what are you talking about? They're not here. They're not in this timeline with you. If you're doing your work and you're a light warrior and you're a light worker, your timeline's away from your friends and family. We got to understand that. Like I always tell people, I could be sitting right next to you, but that does not mean we're in the same space. I'm in, like, I could be 2 timelines away. You know how they might, 2 light years away. I may be 2 light years away from somebody, right? We got to really understand this. So it's good when you get with like-minded people, your soul tribe type people, and have them circle you with the support that we need. When I say circle, so this is something that stands out to me. I see that something that we need in this throat chakra season. It makes it hard because we don't have the support. A lot of us don't feel supported. A lot of light work, I know we out here alone. We out here on a limb by ourselves, or we out here in the depths, in the primordial waters or the primordial energies. We're out here in the depths, you know, by ourselves, and it can feel lonely, but you're not alone, because you got your celestial host, you got your angelic host, you got your ancestors. Like, we are surrounded and they're all rooting for us, right? But physically it can seem like, yeah, you're alone and we don't have the support that we have, and we've been feeling blocked. But now it's time to open that throat up, and that's one of the things that I was getting out of that lesson, out of that play. Like, open your throat. And that's what's holding a lot of us up as we've been going through the emotional things, the conjunction with that, what was it, Jupiter and Uranus conjunction. As I said, the lightning bolt that struck the earth, shook the foundations, shook some stuff up in our social dynamics, as if it wasn't already shaken from the eclipse and the Pluto in Aquarius from January, right? And speaking of Pluto in Aquarius, another part of this, another aspect to this, is remembering that Venus and Pluto were squared and just came out of a square around this time. Even again, as he brought to light, it reminded me, oh yeah, something was going on around the 9th or the 10th, that same weekend that we were getting those intense solar flares. So you see how all of this is very intrinsic. It's not a coincidence. It's a coincidence. it's an incidence that is existing coexistingly, so to speak, if that makes sense. But that weekend there was a lot going on, and I know I'm not the only one. A lot of us were feeling the attacks, but if you do the work, it easily brushes off of you. But a lot of us have been feeling it and getting attacked here in our expressions and how we should be expressing ourselves. And so with this, with Venus coming out of this square, because Venus being in the square with Pluto is a little bit of a hold back and a little bit of tension, but it's only because Pluto is a planet of revelation, death to rebirth type of transformation. So its revelations are usually like a little uncomfortable for Venus, the planet of beauty and possessions and material things, because what it's doing is it's bringing the why it's so uncomfortable is it's bringing the revelation to our perspective of truth, beauty, possessions, and things forth. Those things therefore. It's bringing the truth to that. It's highlighting that. So coming out of that intense, let's say that square, it's doing its do-si-do, and it's coming out of that, boom, we get hit with the solar flares, more light, more information. And so it's kind of, and it's putting the pressure on where? Our throat, because it's in our throat chakra, right? And then it is in our throat chakra. We're in we're in the season of Taurus. That's all of that, and Venus rules Taurus. So being that it's in its home space of possessions and things like that, and I've spoken about this is why we're constantly hearing that echo of it's time to change your perspective. It's time for us to change our perspective on what we view to be beauty, possessions, money, relationships, because even relationships are considered possessions. People, and I say this because no disrespect to anyone, but people look at the relationships as possessions. My daughter, my son, my mother, my father, my child, my is a possessive noun. Let's just be real. Mine, yours, mine, right? So relationships have these titles that we have to realize it's a possessive aspect. It's a possessive type noun, and it brings possession into the mix. And then listen to the word possession. We are possessed with our obsessions, right? And I'm not trying to make this doom and gloom, but being real about it. We got to look at these perspectives, right? That there is an obsession. We're obsessed with these material things, car, house, money in the bank, all of this stuff. It's a possession. So Pluto, when it's squared with Pluto, it's saying, it's like Pluto is turning something for Venus, like, yeah. And Venus being that planet of love and beauty and possessions, it's not trying to take away the love and beauty. It's really just highlighting some truths, tearing down old concepts, right? And highlighting some truths that are allowing us to break out of our old perspectives and see true beauty for what it really is. Us valuing our energy within us as true currency rather than chasing the fiat currency, things like that. Instead of making that your priority, getting this bag, getting this money, how about we get this spirit and get this soul? Get into a mind state of abundance, and all things will be given onto you. You don't have to worry about the bag. The bag is in the abundance. See, this is the view that we have to see. I don't know about y'all, but I can only tell you about me. I don't chase anything. This is why I do my programs sometimes for free, when I do my workshops and things like that for free, because it's not about the money. And when I do it, more is given on to me, because people will give from their heart. People will give when they see that the service is given onto them. They will give in the ways that they can. It's called reciprocity. And when you live in a mindset of abundance, I don't look for the bag. I have a mind state that I know that the bag is everywhere. There's a bag right there. There's a bag right there. There's a bag behind me. There's a bag. I don't have to get this bag. I don't have to do anything to chase this bag. I simply need to live according to spiritual truths and principles. And this is a whole nother type of thinking. But when you do that, you open that dynamic, you change that. I don't have to look for a significant other. I know that I am my significant other. I have a marriage within me. My masculine, feminine energy, my conscious and subconscious mind. I have a sacred union within my soul. And just by having that, I find my counterpart on the outside, in which I have my counterpart on the outside, and I don't have to search for my counterpart to be a certain way or I have no lack whatsoever. I live within my abundance, and by doing so, everything that I need is given unto me. And I know it may sound cliche, but it is so true. if you honor this space, right? So I share that to kind of highlight this Taurus season and what it's looking like, and all of this that is happening in the Taurus season is in the middle of our throat chakra season. So it's really gearing us up and helping us, highlighting some things for us so that we can tap into expressing our throat. This being in Taurus season is really being in the Taurus season, with the conjunction that happened in Taurus season, was also happening to help elevate you, right? It's stuff that is within the earth, of course, but it's happening to elevate you, right? The ground shaking stuff, as I said in one of the other videos, the earth is the soil, and the soil is represented by the subconscious mind, which again is the feelings. That's why I did the sacral workshop at that time. And so to get in touch with your feelings and elevate that to the heart, because the heart regulates the emotions. That means the heart chakra regulates your sacral chakra, right? So when you get into your emotions and you process your emotions, now your heart, which is the regulator of the emotions, has less work to do. It doesn't have to overwork itself and overcompensate for misappropriated feelings that were not processed, that we are not processing. So that conjunction was a boom opportunity for us to get into those emotions and process them, so that we can have our heart can regulate them accordingly without less stress, because you are not overworking it, which then brings you into your higher heart, anahata, which then allows you, the higher heart being the energy body, which allows that energy to move through the atmosphere, the throat chakra. So where these four elements come together and meet at one point is the fifth point. And I say that because I'm thinking of a pyramid. Let me give y'all my image. If you think of a pyramid, at the bottom, at the base, there are 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each corner is an element. If you see that element, raise each point up like a pyramid. Raise each corner up. You will have at the point, the fifth point would be the top of the pyramid. And that will be the pinnacle of the pyramid. That is the fifth point, the fifth chakra, right? Expression, the fifth dimension, even as expression. So where those 4 elements come together, then you have that fifth element, which is what they call spirit, espiritos, or expression. So this is something that that's being highlighted to us, to really embrace this throat chakra in this throat chakra season. And we're only in the middle, so we have another month to go, right? The Gemini season is also a part of that, in which the element of that is wind. So there we go with the wind again. We getting help from the wind to help the wind move through the atmosphere, carrying the information one place to another. And as I say that, it reminds me of a lesson I had yesterday. I was outside and I saw one of my plants. This is something with plants, and I can't make this up. We had a rosemary plant. Never saw blooms on it before. I bought a rosemary plant that had blooms on it and brought it here. So I bought it just because I saw the blooms on it, and I put it in the backyard. Do you know that in due time, now that other rosemary plant that I already had is now growing blooms? What does that mean? That means that there is, even the plants know it, and the plants have been doing this for thousands of years. There is information in the wind, and the wind carries it through the atmosphere. The information in the atmosphere goes from one plant to the next, and next thing you know, here goes this plant that is blooming, that's never bloomed before. I never saw a blossom there before, right? So it shows me that so it is with the plants, so it is with us. The information is in the field, it's in the air. And as we have our information field, and sometimes we get amongst others, or even if it's not being near to them in close proximity, it's how do I say, I call it energetic proximity. Depends. So if you're close to them energetically, right, that's what I call energetic proximity. And so that information is being shared just because of the energy that you guys share in the proximity of your energy, even if they're in another state. If you have a strong bond with them, you have what I call an energetic proximity. So then information is just being shared. It's just that quick. It's in the air, right? So I feel like I'm missing something, but if I do, I'll bring it back. But that's to bring and to highlight to highlight what's happening in this throat chakra season. So there was another point that I wanted to bring across. I'm seeing if Spirit will bring it back to me. But it was when I was highlighting, bring it back to me, Spirit. There was an important part there. And it was when I was highlighting something about the Venus and what the possessions are, which I did highlight that. Speaking, yes, very important. Thank you, Spirit. Speaking, the throat chakra is not just about what we're speaking in, like in that play that he was saying that, oh, it lost its voice and now it could speak. So I want to be clear. This is not just for people who are not speaking up when it comes to the throat chakra. The throat chakra is about all expression. It's how we receive information, which is listening. It's how we give, which is speaking. And it's how we are being. Meaning, are we being in our true, authentic self in our expression with others, right? Are we co-signing to people's folly, right? Or are we standing in our truths and saying, no, this is not something I can co-sign to. No, I cannot do this with you or for you because I would be co-signing to your energy. Even if we don't give them an explanation, are we standing in our truth and saying no when we need to say no? And not only that, it's also for people who may be speaking out of turn. So don't think this is just for the timid people who don't speak up. This is also for the people who are loud and boisterous, and who are abusive in their communication, because now you're speaking out of term, and that communication is not good either for the throat chakra. So it's really speaking to all of those aspects, and I want us to think about that. So if you may be talking out of term, if you're gossiping, things like that, gossiping and complaining is another thing that is not good for the throat chakra. So if you're doing any of these misappropriations for the throat chakra that throw it out of alignment, these things are happening. Any of these challenges that may be coming up for you, especially from that conjunction, is coming up to give you a challenge to help you face yourself so you can look and see what needs to change in you. Where in your emotional body do you need to readjust something so that your heart can regulate it, so that it can be in its higher heart and carry it into your authenticity of yourself, so you can be an expression of your authentic self according to soul's integrity, right? In whatever way that looks like. So if you're speaking up too much, these are things may be coming up to challenging you that's asking you to hold back. Maybe hold your tongue, have a little patience, have a little understanding, have a little consideration. Be mindful of how you are abusing and misusing, we got little flies around here now, abusing and misusing your throat chakra. So be mindful, of those misuses. Right, so these are just some things that I'm putting out there for us to be mindful during the throat chakra season, and realizing that, hey, Taurus was a midway point for us in the middle of throat chakra season that was coming to help us out, as Taurus represents the throat. So it's like, I'm hearing, let me clear my throat. Like, this is where we need to clear up any blockages, whatever they are, to be able to express and be in your true expression of who you really are. And to be mindful of possessions. As we went through Taurus season with Venus moving through Taurus, were you able to change the perspectives of how you see possessions, right? What is your possessions, which are the obsessions that you possess, right? The obsessions with the material things that you possess. What is that for you? And are we reviewing them, right? So with that, before I go, I'm going to go ahead and read y'all the little download I got from that. The fifth element as the atmospheric body. So the Taurus season is in the middle of the throat chakra season, which I just mentioned. And this is timely as the Taurus represents the throat. Being that the throat is the fifth chakra going up, it highlights the fifth dimensional aspect of expression existence. It is the fifth element as spirit, or heart elevated as spirit, that represents the atmospheric body, right? This alignment of Taurus in the middle of the throat chakra season is an important pivotal moment where the energies are guiding us into the 5D new earth. Ta-da! Did I forget to mention that? All of this is happening of course, to guide us into the 5D new earth. This is how we're going to get there. We have to understand that 5D, fifth dimension, is also about expression, and everything is in the air. It is the unity frequency that is in the air. Anyhow, this further explains that. So it's guiding us into that 5D. The more we push our timelines to shift into 5D, into the 5D existence, the more we are expanding our experience of creation in time as expressions in the atmospheric body. Meaning, we are expanding from 3D creation to 4D time to 5D expression into, see, I can't even read my own handwriting, into awareness, right? Or into airwaves. There we go. I was like, into awareness. So let me say that again, meaning we are expanding from 3D creation to 4D time to 5D expression into airwaves, right? That energetic body into the airwaves. So it's in the air, right? I can feel it in the I know I don't know the words, but yeah, that's the song that came to me. Like, I could feel it in the air. Right? So in the airwaves, right? So we are now communicating through the wind in the atmosphere. This is what's happening. The energy moves through the atmosphere as we exchange information, light and energy. Light, energy, information is all synonymous, right? As we exchange information, light and energy through our auric field. Our feelings are in the field, so we're exchanging through the field. Everything is in the air. Every single thing is in the air. So we got to clear the air. Let me clear my throat and clear the air. As I said, I'm hearing the song, and then it brings me back to what I said in the beginning. Boom, like an 808. So remember to be at zero, at neutrality within the infinite existence of all of this, because it is an infinite existence, and we're drawing from the infinite existence to that neutral point. Bring yourself to a neutrality so that you can explore what you need to explore. When you come from neutrality, then you can move into the positive, the positivity. So whatever may be feeling negative right now, just get to that 808. Get to that sitting in the middle. Get to that point where I am, where duality meets in the center of infinite existence is love. Is love. That is the love frequency. And remember, the more you elevate the heart, right? The elevated heart is spirit. So from heart to spirit, elevate the heart into spirit. And that is what we're doing in the throat chakra season. We're becoming a part of this. We're activating the 5D. We're activating fifth dimension, which is the expression of creation and time. We are that creation. We are expanded creation. We are expanded time. And we are now in an expansion, or we are expanding expression as we speak, just by being. The throat chakra is about being. So being in that truth, being in whatever it is true for you. And so I will leave that there as the fifth element, as the atmosphere. So, you know, go back and watch that movie, Fifth Element. Bring everything into your throat. Everything that you're going through, bring it to a point where you can express through authenticity in your throat. Opening your throat chakra and allowing this. The more you understand this, the more you will understand the way we are moving through 5D. Because a lot of people are still not getting it. It's like, you're not getting it. Everything is in the atmosphere. It's here. It's there. It's everywhere. So don't try to hide it. This is why we might as well do our soul work, because you're not hiding it. You're running and you're running away, but you're not hiding it. You can't fool nobody. You can't even fool you. The court gesture, the joke's on you. You can't fool you. So get into that work. Get into your true blue. And utilize this midpoint of Taurus season within the chakra season to continue to have you unlock any blocks that you may have there, and step into that new timeline of yourself, welcoming into what? 5D. And with that said, remember to like, subscribe, share. Did I say share? Like, subscribe, share, and comment if you dare. Let me know how you may feel of any of these aspects that I brought up. How do you feel about the throat chakra season? How's it going for you? Let me know if you have found that page. If you have heard of the guy that I mentioned, Jamal Robinson. Let me know if say I've heard of him or something. And if you get a chance to go to his page and check that out. And with that, each one, reach one, teach one. Which reminds me why I say each one, reach one, teach one, because in the atmospheric body, this is what we're doing. We reach in one, we teach in one, all at the same time in the atmosphere. So each one, reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big, beautiful heart and shine your light from the inside out and be the candle that lights the next one and the next one and the next one. Peace, love, and light.